love Bailu, then hit that subscribe button right now. Don't miss a single update, rumor, or story about your favorite star. No one expected that a simple reunion backstage at an award show would change the quiet rhythm of two lives that had once run side by side. Bailu arrived first that evening, wearing a soft pastel satin dress that caught the light with every step she took. She had long grown used to camera flashes, polite greetings, and the glimmering chaos of red carpets, but tonight carried a strange feeling, a quiet flutter in her chest she couldn't quite explain. Wang arrived a few minutes later, commanding the room effortlessly even in silence. He walked through the corridor with familiar confidence, but something inside him froze when he caught sight of her from a distance. Her silhouette, the quiet elegance of her presence, it tugged at memories he thought he had safely locked away. For a moment, the noise around him faded, replaced only by the steady beating of his own heart. When their eyes finally met, only a few steps apart, time seemed to soften around them. They didn't speak at first. Instead, they exchanged a small, gentle smile, simple, but full of unspoken words. Bailu nodded politely. Dylan responded with a softer smile than the ones he normally showed in front of cameras, the kind of smile he only revealed when he wasn't pretending to be anyone else. A brand team soon ushered them aside to record a short promotional clip together. They followed the script: stand close, exchange brief glances, share a small laugh. It was a simple assignment. Yet the problem was the laugh wasn't scripted. It wasn't rehearsed. It erupted naturally, as if their hearts remembered something their minds had tried to forget. Even after the cameras stopped recording, the two of them stood still for a moment longer, as if reluctant to break whatever invisible thread had formed between them. Days passed. Schedules piled up. Life resumed its usual pace. But late one night, after Bailu finished wiping off her makeup and sat quietly on her couch, her phone vibrated. Her breath caught for a moment when she saw the name on the screen, one she had tried not to think about. "Thank you for that day," Dylan's message read. "If you're not too busy this week, would you like to grab a coffee? I feel like there's still something we haven't finished." She stared at the message for a long time. He wasn't someone who reached out lightly. Every word he sent carried weight. A soft smile tugged at her lips as she replied, "Coffee, sure. But I'm choosing the place." Their first meeting outside of work happened at a small cafe near a quiet lakeside. When Bailu walked in, the wind gently tousled her hair, and Dylan, seated by the window, looked up with an expression so warm it could melt winter frost. He laughed softly as she tried to smooth her hair. "You don't have to fix it," he said. "You already look beautiful." Still as smooth-talking as ever, she grumbled, though her cheeks warmed. "I'm just being honest," he replied quietly. Their conversation that night flowed effortlessly. They talked about failed cakes and cooking disasters, about books that made them cry, about the pressure of living under constant public scrutiny, and about how both of them secretly loved sunsets but rarely found a time to watch them. After coffee, they strolled along the lakeside. There were no cameras, no paparazzi, no fans peeking from a distance. Just two people letting the silence between them bloom into something comforting. The moon cast soft silver light on the water, and for the first time in a long while, Bailu felt truly present in the moment. Their meetings continued. Not every day, but often enough to create a rhythm, a soft gravity pulling them closer. Sometimes they met for a quick meal between shoots. Sometimes they exchanged script notes in hushed voices. Sometimes they simply sat together, doing nothing, letting time pass lazily like sunlight drifting through an open window. And then came the night that changed everything. Bai Lu had just finished hours of rehearsals. Exhausted, she stepped out of the studio only to find Dylan waiting near the entrance, leaning against his car, hands in his pockets, looking like he belonged in the cold night air. He didn't say much. He simply took the thick scarf around his neck and draped it gently over her shoulders. "You always forget to bring something warm," he murmured. "And you always show up right when I need you," she whispered back. The world seemed to pause around them. And finally, with vulnerable honesty, she asked, "Dylan, what are we doing?" He took his time before answering, searching her eyes like he was memorizing every flicker of emotion. "I don't want to be reckless," he said softly. "But ever since that night, I haven't been able to stop thinking about you. I don't want to lose you again, not this time. If you'll allow it, I want whatever this is to become something real." Her heart trembled not from fear, but from a kind of warmth that felt like it had been waiting for this moment. She smiled, a small, fragile smile full of hope. "Then we go slow," she said. "But don't stop." Dylan didn't answer with words. Instead, he stepped closer, close enough for her to feel the warmth of his breath, close enough that the city lights behind him blurred into golden haze. It wasn't dramatic like the dramas they acted in. It wasn't loud or extravagant. It was gentle, intimate, real. From that night on, something shifted quietly between them. They didn't announce anything. There were no labels, no declarations. But they shared more late-night talks, more quiet dinners, more little moments that felt like pieces of a future forming naturally. Sometimes they watched the sunset together in silence. Sometimes Dylan would drive her home just so she didn't have to walk alone. Sometimes Bai Lu would bring him snacks during his late shoots, claiming she just happened to pass by, even though she clearly went out of her way. Rumors in the industry began swirling. Fans noticed the way their expressions softened around each other, the small smiles that seemed too sincere to be coincidental. But the world couldn't know what was truly unfolding. Behind locked doors, behind carefully guarded privacy, Bai Lu and Dylan were writing a story only their hearts understood. A story without dramatic confessions or